So anyway, Jean was born and raised in a very small, really small town, Winchester, Texas. 35 people was the total population, 20 of whom were her family, in Brooks. Anyway, we got on the plane, you fly to Austin, we rented a car, and we drive the car. Winchester's not near anything. And you drive on an 8-lane interstate for a while, and that becomes a 4-lane state highway. That eventually becomes a 2-lane highway. Pretty soon it's a 2-lane blacktop, and the 2-lane blacktop will run into a dirt and gravel road, which will take you to Winchester. It was one of those scorching hot Texas days. We're driving along. We get to the end of the 2-lane blacktop. Where the 2-lane blacktop meets the dirt and gravel road, there was a fairly new service station, combined service station, kind of 7-Eleven convenience store. So I said to Jean, let's stop and get a Dr. Pepper. You know, everybody in Texas drinks Dr. Pepper. And so she said, well, I'll hop out and get it. So I left the air conditioning running, stayed in the car. She went inside this little place where they had like 7-Eleven. She stayed in there a total of about 20 minutes, which is a long time to get a Dr. Pepper, you would agree. And, you know, I in my big-headedness was drumming my fingers on the dashboard saying, what the hell is going on in there? And I looked up and she was having an animated conversation with a man behind the counter. That conversation went on for 12, 13 minutes. Anyway, she finally gets back to the car, hands me a Dr. Pepper, we take off, and I made a mistake. I said, well, that was a pretty animated conversation you were having in there with that guy. What was going on in there? She said, oh, Dan. She said, you know, that's Jimmy Bob Zimmerhanser. And I went with him in high school. I.G. went with him in high school. And he's just bought this place out here at the end of the road, and we had a good conversation. So I made mistake number 2, as husbands tend to do. It was sort of a half smirk, you know. I said, well, you know, Jean, if things had taken just a certain turn at one time in the road back there, you might be out here helping run this accommodation service station. Don't you know, it didn't take her a split second to say, no, Dan, you don't understand. If I had married Jimmy Bob Zimmerhansen, he would be the anchor and managing editor.